Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another to core or not to core video. In this video, we are going to do the Astral team, the newest meta team. I mean, I wouldn't say they're meta in all game modes, but they're definitely up there in terms of stats. And if you're a war person, definitely they're gonna stack up high, right there with Old Man Logan team. So for sure, they're gonna be mainly a war team, but my personal opinion is not to core. I'm not going to core anyone. I'm gonna see like over time when we unlock them. I'm gonna see how the team performs. As of right now, Moondragon is doing awesome damage, and Doctor Shade is doing awesome things with Secret Defenders combination. But I'm not sure if I wanna drop my cores on a War and Battleworld team. Before we jump into the kits, wanted to give a quick disclaimer. This team is going to be mainly a Battleworld team, and depending on your alliance, you may or may not get a faster unlock rate for Knull, and this is going to be the main method for unlocking Knull. And if you are in an alliance that you don't think you're gonna be getting more than 3 to 4 shards per week on Knull, and it doesn't matter like how high you have your Astral team, 1% cannot change the fact that Knull is gonna be a 6 months to 1 year unlock. And I'm in that position personally where I'm kind of in the same level as my alliance. My alliance is also mostly free to play. I'm mostly free to play. And even 5 people, if they purchase the full Astral team, it's going to be impossible to get a faster unlock on Knull. And Knull on its own is going to be an insane character. However, really assess where you are in terms of alliance and how your alliance is doing it. And maybe even get a quick vote, see if the majority of people in your alliance is going to core for Astral or not. Personally, I don't care about War and I don't care about Battle World. They want to put the strongest character in Battle World. Doesn't matter for me. I'm gonna just unlock them when I unlock them, and for now I'll be getting those 3 shards per week. After they're fully unlocked for me, I'll probably be getting more than 3 shards. I'm not sure how many, but in either case, it's gonna be a long road for me, so I'm not gonna even worry about coring these guys, and I'm sure they'll be usable on Crucible and War Defense as a partial team before you have them fully upgraded. But again, Crucible Defense, there's so many options. Also, we're gonna get another new team after this, which I'll probably be coring. That's gonna be a mutant team, which will be for the raids, for Orcus raid, and I'm gonna be investing in that, so I'm gonna hold off on spending core. Enough of that. We went a little bit, sorry if I went a little bit longer in terms of disclaimer, but let's jump into the kits, shall we? We have the Ancient One. I want to say he's worth your core if you are invested in this Battle World thing, and if you think you can unlock Knull faster this way, and you are generally interested in War, and you want to spend cores, I think Ancient One is worth your cores. She's pretty OP. She's almost more OP than Shadow King. Actually, Shadow King has some unique things in his kit, but I think Ancient One is the one that carries really your team damage and your sustain overall. Her passive is going to flip heal block into death proof on any turn, whether it's on her turn, sorry, not on any turn. And another crazy thing is that she's going to be generating energy every crit. So if you have your entire team as Raider, this is going to be insane. Them just feeding each other energies, that's gonna be crazy. So she's gonna be the main target, I think, even before Shadow King. She's gonna be the main kill target on the team, and she's gonna have extra crit chance, extra counter attack chance, which is okay, but In War and Battleworld, she's gonna do some crazy things. She's gonna apply safeguard, and she's gonna keep increasing those safeguards and all the other buffs on her turn. Now, safeguard is not too OP of a buff because Thanos can remove it, and most people are gonna be using Thanos on offense once this team goes on defense, so that makes sense. Her opening ability is going to be her special, which is quite insane. She's going to do piercing damage, steal health off of each target. Imagine what this does in Dark Dimension. Apply heal block, extra crit damage. So definitely want to have her as a raider. Flip all positive effects into negative. This reminds me of what Nimrod does on his special, but this is even more OP because it applies 3 counters to self and all allies, and you don't have to have her on your full Astral team. You can have her on any team. She's gonna apply 3 rounds of counters. And as you guys remember, when these guys have counters, right, they get extra crit chance. And crit chance does what? Crit chance gives them energy. So this is going to be bonkers opening ability. So definitely a OP character on defense, even if you don't have Shadow King and you have her with a pre-taunter. Next ability is going to be her ultimate that she'll use, and I'm not using these abilities at full power because well, first of all, not many players will be able to have the awakened abilities, but overall it's just war stuff that is included in their awakened stuff, which doesn't matter in my opinion. But let's go to the ultimate. Ultimate applies piercing and rebound chain to 3 adjacent for piercing. That's a lot of piercing. Then applies a stun, so attacks pings the most injured. This is like similar to what Hello does, but this is after the rebound chain happens, so you're gonna drop someone low with that rebound chain and reduce the speed bar and basically knock one person out of the field with a stun. This is going to be pretty good, but not super insane because most people will take someone with immunity against these guys. Then applies safeguard. This is also outside of war, so pretty OP overall. So I think based only on these 2 abilities, I think this is going to be a core. This is a character, if you want to core someone on this team, if you care about War and Battleworld, this is going to be a core member, one of the core members. So for sure, she gets the core stamp of approval. Okay, let's move on to Emma Frost, the new and updated version with the X-Men tag. She's interesting. I mean, she's not the craziest character on this team. All her abilities does mind control, which is okay, I think, but in mirror matches, her abilities is like the least impressive because she's mostly helping the team sustain. And Astral members, they don't attack each other too crazy when they're mind control, so they're gonna be toned down in terms of mind control abilities. But she has what the OG Emma Frost does, a little bit toned down as well. It says enemies cannot have non-mythic enemies, so it doesn't affect any mythic enemies. So you can even exclude Dormammu and Doctor Doom out of this, as well as Kestrel even. Non-mythic enemies cannot have their speed increased except by positive effects. So Kang doesn't get the speed bar boost. So this is essentially, we don't have any other positive effects except a speed up that increases the speed. So essentially Kang, any member that, even Cable that applies a speed bar to your team, not gonna work against this Emma Frost. Kind of the opposite of actually the OG Emma Frost that we had. So this is interesting. I mean, it could be useful in centric cases. I mean, they excluded mythic enemies so they don't make her too overpowered. I think still the OG Emma Frost will take it home. 10-0 even, she's gonna take it home against this Emma Frost. On spawn, defense up, okay, fine. Barrier, okay, fine. And similar to Agatha, when someone drops below 50, barriers them and clears their negative effects, fine. Doesn't have anything awakened with that. Then her opening ability will be ability block to primary target and defense down, mind control, the highest damage, and apply offense down, and defense up to all allies, which is redundant with this on spawn defense up. And usually defense up gets flipped, so it doesn't even matter. I mean, combine it probably with the safeguard that they get, but from Ancient One. But if you don't have Ancient One, her defense ups really don't matter if it's flipped. Then her ultimate ability is pretty good. Not mind-blowing good, but pretty good. Still 10% health of the primary target plus damage. And she's not the damage dealing member on the team. She has the highest health. And if she does, similar to what Anti-Venom does, if she doesn't have trauma, copy all negative effects, so do a mass team cleanse on Astral and X-Men and apply it to the primary target, from self to primary target, which is okay. Then mind control, a bunch of characters, then barrier again. And applies immunity. Okay, that's good. That's better than what her special does. So first turn she's gonna apply defense up, second turn she's gonna apply immunity on par with the safeguard that we get from the Ancient One. Overall, I think she's gonna be a pass. Probably for most players, I'm gonna guess. It's like it's like basically not having Agatha on your Darkhold team, which is okay. I think it's not gonna make or break the team, but she's gonna be okay in terms of sustain, especially for defense, Crucible defense, War defense, you name it. And let's look at Shadowkin. So Ancient One is core, Emma Frost is pass, and for Shadow King, pretty unique. I would say he's probably okay because he doesn't do anything out of the ordinary with his abilities, but he removes trauma, which is something that we have never seen before. This is basically the first character in the game that removes the trauma, and similar to Omega Red, he basically he applies the ability block and trauma with his opening ability, which we're gonna go over. Let's start with this passive. So he's also introducing a new possessed mechanic. So on spawn, gain possessed and clear possessed from all allies. And this possessed is important. We're gonna find out why. So if you kill him first, he's gonna transfer the possessed from himself to the next Astral member. Random Astral member. And what does possessed do? When this character or any Astral has possessed, okay, so at the end of this character's turns, or when a non-summoned ally uses their ultimate, so any ally, doesn't matter which ally you're using, attack the most injured for piercing and drain, and still 50% health. So similar to other pingers that we have in the game, like Gambit, like the girl from Orcus members, I forgot her name. Then fill a speed bar on top of the pings. The possessed character is going to fill their speed bar by 15% clear, one negative effect on themselves. Then character with possessed cannot get trauma and stun. And then when the character with possessed dies, the possessed gets transferred to a random Astral member. So ping, fill speed bar, clear negative effect, all this stuff happens on ultimate or that character that has the possessed turn end. Which is okay. I don't find it too crazy, but I guess with the newer stats, this piercing damage is going to be a lot, plus the drain mechanic, which we're gonna heal the one member on that team, as well as 5% health steal, which is going to I guess it's gonna go through the death proof and safeguard and stuff. So pretty good ability. I mean, it's not mind-blowing, it's good, it's unique. Then his Awakened ultimate is going to be in War. Awakened special also only in War doesn't matter to us too much. His opening ability, apply evade offense up for 2 turns to all allies. Pair this again with the safeguard that Ancient One gives. Flip all positive effects on primary and adjacent. Will do damage and apply trauma for 2 turns, heal block, ability block for 2 turns, and offense down and defense down. So this is similar to what Omega Red does. Then in Battleworld does some extra stuff, stun, trauma, spread the negative effects, from primary to adjacent. Then it gets extra focus and is unavoidable. It's okay. It's a okay ultimate. It's not super crazy. But since he's going to be possessed, he's gonna do that ping right after, so basically. And he's gonna be super thick also in terms of health. Then reduce the duration. So this is his ultimate, which is by far his most crazy ability. Reduce the duration of all negative effects by 2, similar to what Thanos does, but on negative effects on self and allies. Also removes trauma, okay, and heals self and all allies for 20% of his health. Then copy and clear all positive effects from all enemies, and apply it, I guess, to allies or self. I'm not sure. To self, I guess. It doesn't mention to allies, so it's only going to be to self. So it's going to buff himself. So kind of makes it plug and play with this ability on par with the trauma and ability block that he does. Probably he's going to be best on the Astral team, because then you're not going to lose the possess. You're just going to transfer it to the next person since he's going to be targeted. I'm guessing Ancient One still will be the primary target because of her damage. She's going to be the main damage dealer. And so pretty much as far as we know, all Astral members open with their special, so you're not going to get any pings on the first turn. And they're going to do the ultimates on the next turn. So one round you're going to just get 1 ping on the second turn if they get to their second turn. So they're also kind of a slow team. If they get to their second turn, you're going to get pings back and forth. Everyone's ultimate is coming, plus Shadow King's turn, which is also an ultimate, happens to be an ultimate. You're going to get 5 pings on the second turn, probably delete someone. Which is going to be, I would say it's a little bit late in the game. But overall, I think he has plug and play capabilities. His stats also matter. He's a stat-based character based on what we're saying. Because he needs to survive to get to this turn to remove that trauma. That's his important ability that he does, which will be star-based very, very much as it hurts me to say it. So I wouldn't say he's weaker than Old Man Logan, but he's not better than Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan is what? It's a 1 year old or 7-8 months old character, so kind of disappointing, a little bit disappointing, not too much. It's not gonna be a crazy team. I think I'm gonna skip both of these guys, and I'll probably be unlocking Shadow King at 4-star because I don't have my Annihilators maxed out. And go figure. Let's look at their stats. I think we know now that Ancient One is the bonkers character on this team. Shadow King next target probably. So you want to kill Ancient One first, then Shadow King, so that we forgot to even go over his basic. So his basic: mind control, bleed for 2 turns, damage in battle words, apply blind. Okay, so their battle world team. Also, Emma Frost applies regeneration and barriers. Okay, she's gonna be probably the striker on this team. Then she's gonna do piercing plus bleed. Then on crit apply extra bleed. So yeah, that sums it up, I think. And then for the stats, using 3-star 3 red because that's what we're gonna unlock them at, with cores. In terms of health, Moondragon and Emma Frost will be the top health. They're both support healing characters. Makes sense. Shadow King is the next thickest. And in terms of damage, Ancient One really top notch, high damage dealing. And then Moondragon surprisingly takes it home as the second damage, as Shadow King is actually one of the lowest damage dealers on this team. Okay, so I guess Shadow King has the role of support mostly, with his cleanse and buffing up the team and stuff like that. But on the other hand, you have Annihilators who's gonna remove your safeguard. So I don't know like how far you should be going on this team. I'm not gonna bother coring those two guys. I'll unlock them when I unlock them, and together as an alliance we will unlock Knull when we unlock Knull. So we're not gonna go crazy on that. Knull for sure will be arena meta as well as other game modes, but what can you do? Like, it's a Kraken mode, so we're gonna skip it. I think I'm gonna skip it at least. And then focus, Emma Frost has the highest focus, then Doctor Strange, and Shadow King and Ancient One has the lowest focus. I don't think focus matters too much on this team. So they're very heal based and they're barrier based. They're like, they need to survive because they're a slow team overall. Then you have Moondragon with the highest resist. So Moondragon and Doctor Strange, surprisingly, they're on par with Ancient One. They're the greater characters on this team, which is interesting. I mean, Ancient One probably the #1 character, and then I think second one will be between Doctor Strange and Moondragon. They're gonna be equally good. Then in terms of speed, I think Shadow King is the fastest, 125, which is still not too fast, considering we have all these guys that are faster. I mean, Shadow King will fill speed bar for himself, but imagine if you're using them on Crucible defense, which is one of my favorite game modes. They are going to be neglected against Captain Britain, against Cabal, your normal Cabal, which everybody has. So filling a speed bar on the possess mechanic doesn't matter too much because he's too slow. You can even take in Zemo and crit and you'll be good to go. And yeah, I mean, the rest of them are like super slow, so I'm going to skip them. I'm going to skip them. If you are to core them, if you have to core them, leave Emma Frost last because Ancient One is just the better member, the best member on this team. And yeah, I guess that's it. That sums it up for the video. Appreciate you guys for coming in to another core or not to core video. And sorry if we went a little bit longer than we wanted to, but if you stayed all the way through to this point, I appreciate you. And I hope to see you again on the next one. If you want to support me further, feel free to drop a like and subscribe and share it with your friends or alliance mates. If not, I will hope to see you again on the next one. Thank you and cheers.